Have you ever wondered if your life really belongs to you? Or is every decision you make already decided for you? This question has puzzled humans for thousands of years. Today, we'll uncover some amazing truths hidden in one of the world's most powerful books, the Bible. You might think you know what the Bible says about free choice, but get ready for some new ideas. Let's start at the beginning, in the Garden of Eden. We've all heard about Adam and Eve, but have you ever thought about their story as the start of human free will? Picture two people living in perfect harmony with their surroundings, then suddenly faced with a choice that would change everything. Was the forbidden fruit the first test of humanity's power to choose? Or was it just about following a rule? Take Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers. At first glance, it seems like a tale of fate and bad luck. But what if it's really showing how our choices can affect not just our own lives, but the course of history itself? How does God's plan fit with our ability to make decisions? Are we really in control of our own destiny, or is everything predetermined? Most importantly, how can understanding the Bible's view on free will is going to change our lives right now? Think about Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. On the surface, it's a story of freedom and God's intervention. But look closer, and you'll see a beautiful dance between divine guidance and human choice. Moses had to choose to confront Pharaoh. The Israelites had to choose to follow him. At every step of their journey, individuals had to make choices that would shape their collective fate. Look at David, the shepherd boy who becomes king. His rise to the throne wasn't just God's will, but the result of many choices, both wise and foolish. David's decision to spare Saul's life, his choice to face Goliath, even his mistake with Bathsheba, all of these were free will actions that shaped not just his life, but the future of an entire nation. The Bible doesn't just give examples of free will in action. It teaches us how to use our freedom wisely. The book of Proverbs is full of practical advice on making good decisions, from controlling our temper to choosing our friends carefully. This suggests that while we're free to choose, we also have a responsibility to make wise choices. Consider the story of Jonah. God tells him to preach in Nineveh, but Jonah runs away. He exercises his free will, but finds he can't escape God's plan. This story reveals a profound truth. Our choices are real and significant, but they fit into a larger framework of God's will. Think about Jesus' teachings on nonviolence, love, and forgiveness. These aren't just nice ideas. They're invitations for us to use our free will in ways that can transform ourselves and the world around us. Now, let's address a tough question. If we have free will, why do bad things happen? The Bible doesn't shy away from this issue. The book of Job explores the problem of suffering and ultimately suggests that there are aspects of God's will that we don't fully understand. But it also shows Job making choices in the midst of his suffering. Choices to remain faithful, to doubt, to seek understanding. This brings us to a key insight. Free will in the Bible isn't just about making big, life-changing decisions. It's about the small, daily choices we make. How we treat others, how we respond to challenges, how we use our time and resources. These are all exercises of free will that help shape who we are and the kind of world we create. Many biblical teachings reflect a paradox. To find your life, you must lose it. The last shall be first. The greatest will be the servant of all. These ideas challenge our conventional notions of freedom and power, suggesting that there's a deeper kind of liberty to be found in surrendering our will to something greater than ourselves. Let's look at some practical examples. When Jesus tells his followers to turn the other cheek, he's not instructing them to be passive in the face of injustice. He's calling them to make a radical choice to break the cycle of violence and retaliation. This is free will in action, a kind of freedom that goes beyond mere self-assertion. Or consider the parable of the prodigal son. The son exercises his free will by leaving home and wasting his inheritance. But the real test of free will is his decision to return home, humbling himself before his father. And the father chooses to welcome him back with open arms. You might now be asking, if God knows everything, including our future choices, how can we truly have free will? This question has puzzled people for millennia. The Bible doesn't offer a simple answer, but it does provide some intriguing insights. In the book of Jeremiah, God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." This suggests that our free will exists alongside God's foreknowledge. How might understanding biblical free will affect our daily lives? First, it challenges us to take ownership of our choices. We can't attribute everything that happens to us to fate or chance. At the same time, it reminds us that our decisions aren't made in isolation. Perhaps the most powerful implication of biblical free will is the possibility of transformation. The Bible is full of stories of people who radically changed their lives. Think of Saul, who went from persecuting Christians to becoming Paul, one of the most influential apostles. Or Zacchaeus, the tax collector who chose to make amends for his dishonest practices. These stories remind us that no matter what choices we've made in the past, we always have the power to choose a different path. In all of this, let's not forget about grace. The Bible holds that while we're free to make choices, we're also free to make mistakes. And when we do, there's always room for forgiveness and redemption. This doesn't negate the consequences of our choices, but it means that no choice is final. We always have the opportunity to start again and choose differently. As we wrap up, let's explore one more fascinating aspect of biblical free will, the idea of communal choice. The Bible often speaks of entire communities making decisions together. Think of the Israelites choosing to follow Moses out of Egypt, or the early Christian church deciding to share all their possessions. These stories help us realize that while each of us has free will, we also live in larger communities where choices are made collectively. Here are some practical insights. First, recognize the power of your choices. Every decision you make is an exercise of your free will, no matter how small. Make conscious choices, knowing they impact not just your life, but the world around you. Second, seek wisdom for your choices. The Bible encourages us to pray for guidance, to ask questions, to learn from others. Don't go it alone. Tap into the wisdom of your faith and community. Third, take responsibility for your choices. While our options may be limited by circumstances, we always have the freedom to respond. Own your choices and their consequences. Fourth, practice forgiveness for others and yourself. Understanding our own free will can help us be more compassionate when others, including ourselves, make mistakes. Fifth, use your free will to honor others. The Bible consistently reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from serving ourselves, but from using our freedom to love and serve others. And remember, it's never too late to change course. Whatever choices you've made in the past, you always have the power to choose a new path, to start over, to align your will with higher values. As we conclude our journey through the Bible's teachings on free will, I hope you've gained a fresh perspective on this age-old question. This is a topic that speaks to the very core of what it means to be human, to make choices, to take responsibility, and to find meaning in our lives. If you found this deep dive into biblical wisdom eye-opening, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you join us as we continue to explore these profound questions that have shaped human understanding for millennia. Until next time, may you use your free will wisely, choosing paths that lead to growth, love, and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you.